push this over here. I saw something on goals. Let me make sure this is muted over here. And we're muted. Yep. Okay. So I would use that exact same question, goals not achieved in 2025, and ask, what skill or talent do I need if I were to revisit those goals? What skill or talent, who do I become? How do I achieve them in 2026? How equals human? Move this over here. So maybe I sound like I'm a little bit closer, right? So now the question is, how do you achieve them in 2026? How is human? What skill or talent do you need to become? Do you need to have to reach them? Where did you fall short in not reaching them? Was the goal too big? No. It lacked discipline. It lacked signal. It lacked your frequency. That's the big challenge. So if you pick a goal and you ask the questions from yesterday, what do I need to become? Who do I need to become in order to do that? What skill or talent do I need to work on? What do I need to do on a daily basis? What activity is part of my world do I need to focus on? Did you write out your intention every day? Right? Did you do your gratitude every day? And here's the thing, folks. Gratitude, blessings, yes, they seem challenging. If they're not done in a certain way, it's just not going to work. Well, what's a certain way? It's the frequency, it's the self-talk, it's the intention, it's the, did you set up your day the night before? What skill did you learn? What did you do well? What might you have done better? Did you ask the universe for what skill, talent, or resource? It's literally law of attraction. Hey, good morning, Silka.
Good morning, Sean. I thought you would still be talking, so here I couldn't find my microphone fast enough. But that is the purpose of me putting up my hand before you saying, okay, bye, everyone. Good morning. How are you this morning, Sean? Oh, that is so wonderful. Are you ready for Christmas?
I am.
Okay, very good. So you want to know how I can be of, not how I can be of service. Well, I don't know, maybe I could be of some service for you as well, but how you can be of service. So here, okay, explain to me the best way to do a whisper campaign.
Why would you want to do? So I'm just asking, what is the purpose of the whisper campaign? That helps determine what's the best way. What's the purpose of it?
Well, the way I was explained it is that you reach out only to leaders during a whisper campaign and get them positioned, or so when you start your 90-day blitz on January 5th, which this company is doing as an entire company, that they are already positioned and they can start running with you.
So, what are you whispering?
Well, just that is very, very good. Well, see, that's I'm all he said is call them up, tell them you have something very important to tell them, and when they have time to talk. So that was basically, I have never done a whisper campaign. I never even heard of it before. So that's why I'm asking you.
Right. And so the premise is correct. And it doesn't necessarily have to be with leaders. It's it's kind of a FOMO conversation, fear of missing out. And what you're doing is you're literally positioning it. You're pre-planning, you're building your war room before the war starts. So the challenge is that leaders, they'll listen to the whisper. It's very hard for them to take action. If they're a leader, they're already doing something, right? If they're not doing something, you wonder if they're a leader. So now, if you call them up and say, hey, listen, I have something I'd like to speak one-on-one with you, just a real quick conversation as the year ends. I'd like to have a one-on-one with you. When is your time open up for us to do that? And then I'd start booking appointments.
And then what would you tell them?
What you just told them. Our company's launching on the 5th. I'm going to go start and put a big blitz together. And I want to have you at the top of that conversation.
And do you think that works?
No, but you can go do it. Your company said to go do it. I would go try it.
Well, I mean, I don't want to waste my time.
Right. I mean, I don't know why. Sounds a little deceptive. And it sounds a little promising, like you're going to go build it for them. Are they really a leader if you're going to go build it for them? What are you looking for this leader to do once January 5th starts and you start to go to work? What do you expect them to do? Just sit there and collect a check, or?
No, of course not. I think the thought, at least the way I see it, is that they would want to get in and get a spot before before the blitz, the 90-day blitz starts.
Right.
So they get all they get all the people under them as well. I mean, and they can,
Sure. So the question is the comp plan, is it a unilevel?
no,
No. So then how are
It's
they
a-
going to get all the people underneath them?
it's a binary.
How are they going to get all the people underneath them? Suppose you put in 10 leaders. You got
Well,
to put one under each of them, or are you using their leads?
Well, you build only two legs, so you go back and forth. I mean, you want to keep the legs even.
Right. But suppose you put 10, are you going to put the 10 people all in one line? Are they all in
No,
your power leg? The 10, let's say you've sponsored 3 leaders. You went through the Whisper campaign, you sponsored 3 leaders. They're going in a power leg, yes?
no.
Oh, okay.
Why would I put them in the power leg?
I don't know.
Power leg already gets spilled over. So I would put maybe one or two actually. Actually, my personal leg is larger right now than my power leg because obviously my sponsor is not putting people in that leg. So I would put one there and the other two in my personal leg.
So when they ask you, are you putting me in your volume leg, or are you putting me in your personal leg? Where are you putting me? Well,
I'm putting you in the leg that I'm building right now.
Okay. So then,
And if they are a leader, they shouldn't care whether
well, that's
where
why I
they've
don't
been.
understand why the blitz has nothing to do with it. The blitz means they get to go to work. You're
Well,
not putting people in their group.
The blitz means not in their group, but you put them under them because you don't have anywhere else to put them.
Well, why would you put any underneath them until they get their first 2? Now you're just giving away volume. I mean, I get it. It sounds
You
great.
don't have anywhere else to put them. You only have 2 legs, so you have to put them in one or the other leg.
Right. Yeah. It sounds like they gave you a good plan. I'd go for it.
Well, I'm not sure that you think that it is, but
I just know that if you're speaking to leaders and you're talking to them about this, blitz or no blitz has really not a lot to do with it. Because if they start to ask, what's the qualifications on the last blitz your company did, how many people did you enroll?
well, I wasn't in that company, so I wouldn't know.
So, okay.
But one of the, I mean, the leader that is running the splits, he went to $1 million earner after the last splits. So he's really huge on this. They did it. He did it. They did it last year,
Okay.
and he said he stuck the entire thing through. And there was two others that also went to $1 million earners after the blitz. So
Then I would follow what he says. Absolutely 100%.
why would you do that?
Because you went to $1 million earner. Why not? I mean, do it until you have more success than what they did. And then,
But I wasn't sure if I was under. I know what a run and a blitz is because I've done this before. Um, Most people drop out and they don't stay 90 days or they don't do the work, as I have experienced in the past.
right.
But I mean, if people really do the work and stay, yes, I mean there's a lot to be gained. But I've never heard of any whisper campaign. That's unless unless people were launching. Uh, well, this is actually launching North America, but I mean, I guess I'm trying to wrap my head around it, and I was hoping that you could be a bit more helpful than just tell me. It almost sounds like you tell me it's not
Well, I
valuable.
mean, I like the whisper campaign, but when it's the phrase that says, I want you to get in before I put all of the people in.
No, I want you to get in before we start the blitz because that's when all the people come in.
Right. So then it's
Because you want all the people under you, not above you.
right. Absolutely. So it's a FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. So I would hey, listen, our company's has a blitz going on beginning of January, and I know that 2026 is probably the year of travel for you, and I'd like you to take a position. And as we get started in the blitz, if there's anybody I'll definitely be stacking people underneath you as I build and as the team builds, because you'll be in my personal leg of which is bigger than my power leg right now. So you'll be in the high volume leg, and we'll go from there.
Right, and we should say the high volume leg instead of power leg and personal leg because people always don't want to be
Right,
in someone's personal leg because unless they're a huge leader, I mean,
right.
then it really doesn't matter. And it shouldn't matter if they are a leader and they're going to build. It shouldn't really matter what leg
Yes,
they
I don't
are
know
in.
why. I don't know why. Because the blitz could happen in March. It's not a January. It's not a promotional blitz. It's just a let's go build your team. Maybe they'll have some specials, but they
No,
didn't say
this
that.
is, well, no, and they don't, but this is I mean, they have specials right now for that you get paid double whenever you double commissioned for
Right,
anything you do. So
right.
they have that now. But no, no. I mean, not that I know of that they have any specials. It's just it's starting January 5th. That's when the start
And
date is.
I would
And
just
the
say, hey,
and
listen,
the
we got
and
we got focus going on January 5th. The company um, had unbelievable. I'd asked the company what their volume grew the last time the company did a blitz, and now we have more people that are part of the community since we've launched North America. But I would have a conversation with people. I get a number from the person who told you to do this. What was the company's growth? What can I do to leverage the last time we did a company blitz? I'd get a number.
right, that was last year. I don't know, but
I
like
know
I
you
said,
don't. I'd ask the
no,
guy who's putting this on or suggesting this, saying, "Hey, so what was the company's growth?" So that if a leader asks me, "So what did the company do last year?" "Oh, I don't know." "Oh, so it must not have worked." That's the first thing I'd say. "Oh, so if you don't have a number, nobody shared it with you. Nobody's excited about the number. It's just a marketing piece. Let's go to work January 5th. That's unless there's something special about it, but you haven't shared with me anything special that he said. Just go bust your ass on January 5th.
no, it's
Let's go.
I mean the thing is, let's get loud. But yeah, I mean
Okay.
that's the theme of
You
it.
should be loud all year long if you're in business. I don't know why January 5th is the key, but I get it. It's the 5th.
But you
All right.
know that it's always that in network marketing they say 90-day run. I mean that's
Right.
something that's something that's done a lot because well most people
Well, they
don't
don't.
work every day.
Yeah, they don't make it 9 days and then
Yeah,
the,
they don't make it 9 days and then they pretend like they do, but they don't.
yeah,
Yeah, that's true. But if they were doing, say, 20 people a day for 90 days,
yeah.
that would add
So
up because
this is
he said
where
he said, well, you have to, and I don't know if he said a week or a day. I mean, I think maybe he said a day. Have 35 conversations a day.
yeah, that's leader talk. And what you'll do is you'll have the worst 90 days of your life if that's the conversation you have with average people. 35, you can do 35 conversations, but don't ever suggest that to anybody who's getting started who's never really built like 7-figure income. They, oh wow, you're going to show me how to do that? No, you got to do it yourself. Yeah, it's just that's crazy talk to the average person.
Is that crazy
35
talk to you?
conversations. They can't even reach out to 35 people. They won't even send 35 texts a day, let alone talk to people. To talk to 35 people a day, you're going to have 100, 200 contacts a
Yeah,
day.
you're right. Yeah, no, that's very true. That's
So,
very
yeah,
true.
it's awesome. And 7-figure earners will do it because they have drive, they have discipline. That's entrepreneurial talk. That's not wish talk. And most people who get in network marketing, it's net wish marketing. They wish.
Yes, you have to discipline. And
Yep.
this man, he used to be a top basketball player. He was on the French team. So he definitely has discipline.
Yep.
But
So
yeah, there are several people that were pitching that, and I mean it sounds very good, but I know that most people are, they say, "Oh, I'm all in,"
So
but
I
then
would ask them, hey, what's your tracking method? What do you use to keep track? What do you use for follow up? What's your 90-day follow up process? What are you doing for your follow up every day? You got 35 conversations. How do you rank them? I'd ask them, how do you rank them? A, B, or C. You know, they're hot, they're cold, they're medium, they're cold. How do you rank the leads for follow up? Where do you drive them to? I'd ask the strategy. Where do you drive the people to? Not just tell me 35 calls a day. You can go do that. You have the tenacity to go actually have 35 conversations. If
I
somebody's
personally, yes, I can
yes.
do that. I
So my
mean,
point
yes.
is, but I'd ask him, what's the system? What's the system? So I got 35. How do you track them? What do you use to track them? And if he goes, well, just use anything, the system doesn't work. If he says, no, I use this, I do this, I rank them by this, this, and this, where do we drive them to? What are we driving them to? Are we driving them to a blitz page? Are we driving them to a 7-minute video that's a hype in this? Or are we using what we've used all this year that hasn't done anything for anybody? I just ask. I'd ask for the strategy. Give me the strategy of give me the what we're doing. What's the step by step for the 35 people a day? Because I can go do it. I just want to know what your system is because I don't want to have to reinvent the wheel.
Oh, and he was talking about not reinventing the wheel.
Right. So
He
I would
said,
ask him, send me your system.
I mean, generally we just give them a video or the
Yeah,
link.
but that's ask him what is the system he used. He went to $1 million. I want to go to $1 million by the middle of the year. I want to have that volume run rate. So give me your system so I can duplicate that. This is a business of duplication. Let me duplicate you. And that'd be the rest of the story and see what he says.
That's a great idea. All right, I will do that. So forget about the whisper campaign.
No, I mean, it's still a whisper campaign, but you're going to be
But
going
why is it even called that? I maybe
because it sounds
maybe
sexy. It got you excited.
no, it didn't because
Okay.
I like the let's get loud, not the whisper whatever whisper campaign. I just never heard of it.
Yeah.
So what gets me excited is to go $2 million. That's what
Yep.
gets me excited, and I don't care how to get there. Yes, if he must have had a system because otherwise, you're very right. If you speak to 35 people a day, um, You have to be able to put them somewhere, move them somewhere.
I don't, and listen, Angel Fletcher used file folders. She had 7 file folders and sticky notes, and she would write their name, their contact information, and their USP, their unique selling position, what made them special, and she was going to follow up with them on Wednesday, and she put the sticky note in Wednesday. Not a big deal.
File folders.
Yeah, just manila folders, like you would, legal folders.
But didn't you also tell me she reached out to like a huge amount of 60,000 people or
No,
something?
She was in 60,000 websites, 60,000 Facebook groups. But her follow-up system was manila folders. She was in 45,000, I know of, Facebook groups, and she kept track of that on.
I mean, I have met her before, and she just that entire company that she's been in for years was just bought up by Cincino. So now
Yep.
she's really excited to be in that.
Yep.
That's almost, I mean, when you said that to me, 45,000 groups, I can't even wrap my head around that. I mean, I don't even know
That's why
that
it's hard
there are
to.
that
That's why it's
many.
hard to wrap our head around how much money she earns in a month. She earns a lot of money in a month.
But she's not
Just when-
even I don't think she even earns as much as Lisa Grossman. There's no way that Lisa Grossman would ever do that.
No, she earns more than Lisa.
Really?
Yeah.
But she's not on the, Business for Home has that list. She's not on there, but Lisa
She doesn't
Grossman
want to
is.
be on it. She refuses to be on it.
That's odd.
She likes her privacy.
Well, that's pretty crazy.
No,
But
it's not.
I mean,
Like,
ever
when you
since
make
you
so much money, you don't, she's the multimillionaire next door that nobody knows about, and she wants to keep it that way.
well, her boyfriend also is in the top leader. So
Oh, actually,
yes.
her husband.
Oh, is her husband?
Yes.
I guess it's confusing because they have different last names, so maybe.
Yep. Well, that's
That's-
because of their business and their model. But yeah, they've been married now for 3 years. Is it
For
3
what?
years? Yeah.
What? Okay. Well, you know more about that than I do, certainly. Uh, but yeah, all right. Wow. Yeah, but after you said that to me, I've always like thought 45. Are there even that many groups on Facebook? I was thinking to myself because
Yeah.
this is crazy. I'm in a whole bunch of them, and sometimes I can't even keep up with all of them. You're smiling. Well, this is probably also she has a system, Christina says. Yes, she has
Yep.
to have a system. And it's probably more than the folders. Some people
No,
don't.
not for her follow-up. I've watched her. I worked with her personally for 2.5 years.
What do you
And it's
mean you have
folders.
watched her?
I've sat in her house and watched her as she does her follow-ups and works her system.
Are you
I've had
serious?
I've had my 10 leaders from Latin America sit there and watch her come up for 3 days in her home and watch it. Yep. Very simple
So
system.
how many hours does she spend on that a day then?
It depends. 2-3 hours a day.
And she gets okay, so maybe be a little clear. She's in 45,000 groups. So does she like work in one group a day or many groups, or
No,
how
she goes through
how
many
does
groups.
she filter the people out from the groups? Because lots of times you
She'll go in.
cannot.
If you're going to go join Facebook groups,
Yeah.
you go and bring value. She brings value to 50, 60 Facebook groups a day, 45, 100, 200 Facebook groups a day. If she's going on a blitz, it's 300 or 400 Facebook groups a day. And she just clicks and sees where she made a comment, if anybody commented, and she has a conversation with them. She goes and brings value. If somebody says something and she goes and she adds value to it, she gives valuable information inside Facebook groups, and people want to reach out to her.
Well, I give valuable information.
Okay. Do you do it 100 times a day?
No. No, I don't. But nobody ever reaches out to me. So it must be
it's not
specific
valuable. What you think is valuable doesn't mean it's valuable. You've got to, if you're not getting any response, it's not valuable. I mean, that's just the hard facts.
So tell me what would be
I don't
valuable in
know.
my business?
I don't know. I don't know the conversation. How do you make them feel after they read your comment? If this is for everybody, if you want to bring value to people that you're speaking with, right? What's the button that Mary Kay used to wear? How do you make people feel? Make me feel good, right? Imagine people are wearing a button that says "Make me feel good." What do you do to make people feel good when you leave a comment? What kind of recognition or edification do you give them? Because if you're giving them facts, they don't care.
Well, usually they ask for facts, like, what transportation should I use from the airport to the hotel? Is it safe in this city to take, to take a taxi versus Uber, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I give value if I have been there, because I'm like, in some of the, maybe I need to be in more the general groups instead of like the specific group. I'm like in the Dubai group. I'm like in the Peru groups, things like that pertain to travel. So maybe I'm just in the wrong
Well, what are you
groups.
offering those groups rather than just responding to questions? What are you doing to expand to bring more value to the group? That's what you got to ask. Yes, you can answer facts. What's the safest taxi to take? What's the best way to get from the airport to here? This way, that way, this way. I
So
get it.
that is not what you're talking about, providing value. So when you say providing value, what exactly, how was she I'm going to
I
need to
can't.
ask.
I don't know. I can't tell you that. I mean, it's a particular. When you're in 40,000 groups, it's providing value to people to make them feel good when they read the response. Did
So
you
what?
did you say to somebody, "That's a great question. When is your trip?"
No, I didn't
No,
tell them that's a great question.
no. You're a Google. You were being Google, and Google isn't sexy.
I love you. So no, that's why I'm asking you. When you say and provide value, maybe I'm just
You're
missing.
providing facts. That's not valuable. It's not valuable. It's not. Well, they asked. I gave them an answer.
So facts are not valuable.
Well, they
So
they.
what would so okay, so tell me, if you were in this travel group, specifically travel groups,
Yep.
I mean, you've traveled the world, so you know it's not
Right.
that you've never left your little village. So tell me what what type of value, oh, this is funny, I need to tell you some after this. What type of value would you provide?
What's your big dream for 2026? I'm sure people in here have probably been to where you want to go in 2026. Let's share where we want to go. I'll start first.
Okay, I can do that.
Get people thinking.
Well, yes. All right.
So,
I get what you're saying. Very good. Oh, let me tell you one tiny little story. So yesterday I met up with a former student of mine. Well, she's not taking classes today right now, but anyway, she wanted to meet up for coffee. So we were talking, and she said, "Oh, I did." She was too busy to travel this year, and I said, "Oh, I went to Arkansas." And she said, "Oh, my brother," I think she said my brother, either brother or sister. Yeah, brother lives in Arkansas. And this is very funny. So she said, "Where in Arkansas did you go?" And I said, "Oh, I went to Shirley, Arkansas." And she said, "Oh, wait a minute. So her brother lives very close to Shirley, Arkansas." Because she goes on to tell me that he shops at the Walmart in Clinton. And I said, "Oh, my mentor shops at the Walmart." And then she was talking about the Home Depot in Clinton. So I don't know, you might know this person, and I don't remember, it's like a small place where he lives, maybe Fox Run or something. Is there something like that? I cannot remember now exactly what she said, but that was like, and it's funny, ever since I came out to visit you, I have literally run into a bunch of people that live in Arkansas. I have never known anyone from Arkansas before that. How crazy is that?
Oh, that's reticular activating system. Your reticular activating system allows you to begin to reference things that you have reference to. That's how powerful it is. It's literally, those people existed before, they just never showed up in conversation because your reticular activating system didn't activate it. Didn't say, oh, that's important to me. That's a story I can be a part of. And that's what happens when we go to set our dreams and set our goals. When we start to set things and we change the way we believe in the things we set, you have to have faith, right? Faith, desire, and belief. You have to have those things in order for you to arrive at this new place. So I'd have faith. What does faith feel like that you're going to go hit $1 million? What does belief feel like that you're going to go enroll the correct people to arrive at the $1 million figure? What does it mean to provide value to those people you enroll? What does it feel like when they call you up every morning and they go, you have changed my life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And every morning you receive texts from them where they say, I can't believe this was available to me. Thank you for leading the way. And you're like, I didn't do anything. All I did was offer you an opportunity. Because as soon as you take credit for their success, you got to take credit for their failures. And that's where most people fail. They take credit for people's success. They say, yes, I'm a part of that. I enrolled them. I helped them get started. And when they fail, they say, they did it on their own. And the universe doesn't allow that disagreement. You either got it all or you got none, and you got to take care of you. This is where Epictetus said, decide what's within your circle of influence. Them getting started is not inside of your circle of influence. You being a good influence to allow them to say yes was a decision they made on their own. So but if you sit in this feeling, when you sit in this emotion of people thanking you on a daily basis, your life will change. That's how you bring value. Look at your phone every day. How many times does somebody say, thanks for being in my life? And if you don't get a whole lot of those, then I would encourage all of us to be putting out more value in the world. If you're not getting random texts on a daily basis of people saying, thank you for making a difference in my life, you're not outside the noise. You're not outside the noise they live in. If they live in a noise that says, everybody's giving me all that I want and I'm not getting what I want, and if you don't stand out, if you're not outstanding outside of that noise, you're nothing special. Just, that's a hard-hitting facts. If nobody's saying thank you to you, what the hell are you doing?
Well, people from my German say thank you.
Sure. So then ask them, why do they say thank you? I say, I'm curious. I just
Because
want
they tell me I'm the best teacher they've ever
but
had.
so what? But to do what? Why are you the best teacher? What are you allowing them to do that they couldn't do with other teachers? That's what I'd be curious about.
Yes, because I can actually explain the grammar to them that they never understood in the other classes.
Then I would figure out how to explain what other people say. What's the thing? Listen, if you've been around the industry, what's the thing that's just still sticking in your craw, that's got you stuck, that you're not learning from any other teacher, from any other sponsor, from any other comp plan? What's the thing you believe you're missing? And then I would focus on that. Because if you're telling them everything else that everybody else is telling them, there's nothing to tell them. They already know it all. And that's the biggest challenge. Even when you do present to them something different, they say, yeah, I know that. I know I need to do that. So
wow,
that would be my suggestion.
Yes, you definitely always make me think and expand my knowledge and my thought process. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I wish you, we're not meeting tomorrow, right? It's Christmas Eve.
Correct.
And we're not meeting Thursday.
Correct.
So I want to tell you a Merry Christmas right now, and much love, and just amazing 2 days. And I love you very much, and thank you for being in my life.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks for being in mine. Hey, AJ.
Good morning, sir. How's it going?
Outstanding.
Outstanding. Let me put this thing. Okay, can y'all see me now? All right. This guy. Can y'all believe this guy? All right, I was just pulling up to the lake over here. One thing. Funny how you say, "How can I serve you today?" when in fact, you, sir, served me last night without even knowing. And I think I sent you a message. I'm not sure. Anyway, I was walking last night at the lake, a practice I've kind of forgotten about in the last couple of weeks. And I was looking at my phone. I was like, you know what? Let me try to listen to something. And for some reason, I'm not sure what the reason is, but for some reason, I went into my phone voice notes and I found the long forgotten conversation I recorded on October 4th with you, me, and Michelle when we were on the porch after dinner, after supper that I worked for. I'm just kidding. And I listened to that, and it hit me how I really, 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 really need my evidence file. Because
What's an evidence file?
it's just thing, whatever. Just this crazy list of things. And the reason for it is because I remembered, or actually became aware, that there's a lot of things, and I mean a lot, that I just checked off in my mind, and I don't think about them twice. Including that trip, which was hands down the best 2.5 weeks I had ever, including everything I've been through and saw and visited and so on. And then the conversations we went through, the lectures. I actually have that, if you remember, that little blue notebook that I had with me, where I did the notes from those 7 days. It's been collecting dust as shelf help, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I brought it out today, and I'm gonna go through it today. And I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for the time we had and the lessons that I'll keep relearning. Because another thing that hit me is that due to the fact that I don't revisit a lot of material and a lot of memories and a lot of things, and even I think most of us actually, if we revisit some memories or whatever, it's probably going to be the bad ones, not the good ones, unfortunately. And I said, okay, you know what? This is enough. Enough's enough. Went to the gym this morning for the first time in probably a month. And I said, okay, you know what? The biggest goal for me this year was to be interested in the things I'm interested in, not interested in the things I'm not interested in. And I noticed that there's a pretty gray line in between where I kind of let, outside factors, for lack of a better word, to influence me into still being interested in the things I'm not interested in and the things I know I'm not interested in. And after listening to the conversation, it's about an hour and a half long. There's chit chat in between. There's a lot of gems in between as well. And I said, you know what? Enough's enough. And I brought the book out today. I'm free till January 8th in terms of business chores and so on. And I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to use these next 2 weeks. It's about 2 weeks, I think, to really, really do some damage out there to the old identity. And I said, screw you and the horse you rode in on. So thank you, thank you, thank you again. You are doing the Lord's work, sir, out there. You are doing the Lord's work, and you help us, help me more than you know. And I want to salute you and say thank you for that.
And in this 2 weeks of you diving in, I'm going to fluff my feathers and say, you're only scratching the surface of what I'm capable to help you with. And the reason I say that is you've been with me now for 5 years, And as you've excelled, there's not been a day where I haven't allowed you more room to excel because of my awareness. Just imagine, what if, how cool a day would it be where I came up and said, geez, I haven't a clue that you have reached that far that fast. I'm hoping that's the day. I'm hoping that's the 6th, the 5th, February 10th. You have far exceeded my capabilities. And the reason I say that is the only thing holding you back is you. Yes, I do amazing things. I show up in your mind and it's a good thing because there's some answers there. You have a recording, an hour-long recording that had you listened to it the week after, it wouldn't have made as much impact as it did 3 months later. Why? Because you grew. That's why the evidence file is there. The evidence file is never the evidence file. It's the moment where you look at it and say, I did that. And it's a now file. That's what it's designed to do, is to bring you to the now. That conversation on the back porch ran in your memory now, not in October, now. And that's the value of the evidence file, right? I happen to have 10 little evidence files running around outside. They're called sheep. I've got 9 little chickens running around. I got 5 little dogs running around. I have 2 amazing humans that are here that are my evidence file that every day I get to be a part of their life. It's important to stay in the now, right? Sadhguru says there's only the now. And in this now, you have a choice, joy or misery. Your evidence file is a now file. And the now equals human. It's to show what you're capable of, what you've done. And you're right. We do cash out. We do cross off the things we've done. We go back and visit the things that don't work because we're wired to that. The things where we failed is because we're trying to go fix them. The brain does not like an open loop. That's why we call them teasers. That's why we call them hooks, right? We hook people to bring them in because we create an open question in their mind. The open question I would offer all of you is, what's more? What more is there? Then you'll be looking for more, not less. What more can I do today? What value can I bring to those around me? And your reticular activating system starts to access their frequency, mastermind, right? Your brain is a radio receiver and a radio sending signal. When you say, what more can I give to the people who show up in my life? You literally start to read their mind and provide value. I'm like, oh my God, I was exactly looking for that. I know.
Good stuff, huh? This awareness that came to me last night. I really I honestly really wanna do my very best to send this message across to everybody listening and watching the recording potentially someday. That for me personally, in the last 2 years, the worst of the worst, and the best of the best happened. I mean, worst of the worst, I was gone. I died. Somehow I got resurrected. I'm not sure how, but somehow I did it. And then last year, or actually, sorry, no, this year, I went to the States twice, which was my biggest, ultimate wish ever. Just with the way I grew up, with the things I got interested in as a kid, and so on and so forth. The things I grew up with.
You had to overcome being canceled once.
Oh yeah, I had to overcome being canceled, which was it was kind of maybe 2% as worse as almost dying. I'm kidding. And then I last night, as I was listening to this conversation, just getting my memories refreshed, the memories I haven't thought about in a long time. I said, how often do you think about walking in Michigan Avenue in Chicago? How often do you think about that? Because that was the thing. I mean, the thing. The only thing I want to see that has a stronger intensity than that is probably New York City, which I'm going to see next year. But I mean, that's it. It's the top. And how often do you think about that? I said, you know what? How often do I say grace for not being disabled? For the fact that they rescued my leg? and that I'm not, different, because those people, they got to overcome some real strong stuff when you're, you know, not whole, for lack of a better word. And as I said, how often do I remember that? Because I've
So
accepted
let's
this
use
now.
that. Let's use that. So this is what jumped into my mind. You have a little bit of a limp. Some days it's worse than others. Most days, most people don't know, right? Unless you're getting into a car, right? You're getting into the Hummer. We could tell, what's up? Would you hurt your knee? Hurt my knee. I almost lost my leg. Oh, it's a different story. So you don't.
It's getting better, by the way.
You don't have a. I don't know if they have in the States. If you're disabled, you get to hang a little blue card on your mirror that you get a parking spot up front, right?
We have that here, yeah. Yep.
Okay. So you don't have one of those. If I were to ask you, how many people are disabled from reaching their goals? How many people have lost their desire, lost their ability? They literally had it amputated by their parents, by society. How many people do you think would carry a blue card, a blue handicap card for their dreams?
Bonus.
98%?
You got to give out cards. You're disabled.
Right. You give out, imagine if you gave out cards for people who are disabled and reaching their goals. You'd give it out to everybody you know. Nobody's reached their goal. They have reached a place where where sacrifice is no longer the rule, where they're not disabled, but they're not living. They are not living. Everyone you know is not living compared to you. Mitch might be the only one. And yet on Thursdays, he gets a disabled card because he talks about the white passport.
That's dark. That's some dark stuff. I think you got to be very, very tight with the person you're going to give this card to.
My point is that but if you gave it to him, how many people would say, I'm not disabled? And we'd say, so did you set a goal for 26 or 25? Yeah. Did you reach it? No. Here's your disabled card.
Oh, that would, yeah.
Right? And it would piss them off. Why? Because everybody around them is disabled and they're not different. They're not outstanding. You get attacked because you decide to go do what you want to do for you. Why should you be attacked? Why should any of us be attacked? This is where shame kicks in. This is what I teach. Shame is the reason you're stuck. Not because you want goals. You don't lack ability. None of you lack skill. None of you lack talent. You have an abundance of shame. How do you overcome shame? How do you overcome your success disability? Self-talk, daily self-talk, frequency, massive action on writing out your goals daily. If you spend an hour a day and you become a millionaire, what are you waiting for? Well, I just don't have time. Good. Let me know how that works out for you. You listen to that call, an hour-long call. You did that's an hour of meditation, FYI. Because you were listening, you were a witness to it.
Hour and a half.
I don't have 2 hours a day to do that. Yes, you do. Sit, focus, listen to Alan Watts. I don't care. Listen to Sadhguru. Listen to Tony Robbins. Sit for 2 hours and sharpen your saw. You won't do it. Nobody will do it. Because if you did, you wouldn't be. That questions you'd be asking me would be different questions. You're doing it. You're asking me. You didn't ask me a different question. I volunteered, which I usually do with you. Sometimes you ask some brilliant questions. It's because you're really you're on the verge of breakthrough. Yet you come every day and you share breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough. And my goal is to keep nudging the ball forward, keep nudging, moving. I want to move the markers. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, we're on 4th and inches, man. We're
and
almost
every
up
day
there.
you come here 4th and inches, and I say, let's go for it. We're not punting. Most people punt. Oh, I'll do it in 2026, and they punt away their success.
Yeah, we ain't gonna do that.
Right. So we're reading the charts. Most people are going up and down, and they're living in retracement. They're living in, oh, now's my time to act, and they lose. Because they didn't see that it was just a simple gathering and then it launches the other way, and they're upside down in their dreams. And now they hang on because it's, well, I got to get back to, it's going to come back eventually. Probably not. Maybe it will. And that's where most people get lucky. Sometimes you got to cut your losses. And I can tell many of you this, in order to cut your losses and create the success you want in 2026, you're going to have to stop listening to some of the people you listen to, because listening to them has kept you where you're at. This dilution of your focus, this diluted aspect of, well, they said do this and they said do that. Well, pick somebody. Listen, cut me out. Stop listening to me. Don't come back here ever again. Pick somebody to listen to. But I can tell you, the people you've been listening to in 2026, you got to ask, was that a distraction or did that help me move forward? You got to become selfish this year. You got to become self-full this year. You've got to take you into consideration. Because here's what I know. If you didn't hit your goals, you paid for somebody else's. Ooh, snap. If you did not receive the money you wanted, every dollar you spent was to build somebody else's dream and not yours.
Bonus.
Yeah, kind of sucks, doesn't it? But it's an awareness. So you've got to be very stingy, very creative with what you're about to go give. And are you going to get a 10x return? Wallace D. Waddell says, it's the science of getting rich, not the wishing for getting rich. It's the science of getting rich. Napoleon Hill says, chapter 1, desire. Gives you the 13 principles. You've got all of the secrets that have been proven to work, that every successful person refers to. Tony Robbins talks about Jim Rohn. I work with Jim Rohn's president. How many people are you going to go have a conversation with, be mentored by, that worked with Jim Rohn's president for 18 years? Jim Rohn was his president. Kyle Wilson was his president for 18 years. My personal mentor and dear friend. Go find somebody who has Jim Rohn's personal president, personal mentor. You want to learn public speaking? The father of public speaking is Bill Gove. Google it. Bill Gove is the father of public speaking. Mark Victor Hansen, Nito Cobain, all of the Jack Canfield, all of them went through Bill Gove's workshop. I was trained by Bill Gove. You want to go learn public speaking? I'd go to the guy that's the father of public speaking. Bill Gove has passed away. I went to his class 23 years ago. Why do I show up every morning and people say, well, I show up on the morning and I don't know why I need to pay for the mentorship. Because you get the rest of, this is just the, hey, here's the teaser. I do this every day. So you're like, there's got to be more. If this is what he's giving away, there's got to be more. Because if you think this is it, okay, then you're not getting a whole lot of mentorship other places. If you think this is if this is top level stuff, this is ground floor conversations. Well, I don't hear it anyplace else. Because they want you focused on them. I want you focused on you. And that's why most people won't take the next step with me. Because it's all on you, baby. It's all on you. And when you're ready to when you're ready to take responsibility for you and no one else, we should talk. Hey, good morning, Raj.
Great day, Sean. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I was just wondering, can you hear me?
Now I can, yes.
Can people pick up on your thoughts?
And then it cut out. Go ahead.
Can people pick up on your thoughts?
Oh, absolutely. Everyone does. It's called safety. If you've ever been in a room and somebody walked in and you went fight or flight, you went, I got to pay attention to them, or it's okay. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Now, they may not be able to interpret them word for word. It's called a feeling. 100%.
Fascinating. So more like my body language?
Did you ever walk into a room and you knew your mom was mad?
Yeah.
Yeah, you picked up on her thoughts.
Mm.
Did you ever walk into a room and your girlfriend was excited to see you or not excited, or you forgot to do something, you knew they were mad?
Yes,
Yeah, that's picking up on their thoughts. You don't even have to ask the question.
but it seems like they're almost ahead of my thoughts.
Well, it's because they're doing something either to protect you or to protect them. Listen, dogs don't have the ability to make decisions on their own, to think into the future. And we say dogs can read fear. Absolutely. Why? Because dogs are wired to protect whatever it is. If you show up fearful, that's not a comfortable place, and I've got to watch out for you. So if you show up fearful, you've activated most people's fear sensors, which means they need to be in a position to protect themselves.
Fascinating.
Yeah, just show up in love. What happens if you show up in love? And this is where yesterday, 24 hours ago, we talked about before you go do anything, ask what state you're in. How many of you asked what state you were in yesterday? At all, once. How many times did you ask yesterday? Did you check in on what state you were in? We went through a very powerful training yesterday morning.
Yeah, I did twice.
Good. And were you only in 2 situations yesterday?
I wasn't necessarily in a situation, but I was just writing down my goals.
Okay, so did you talk to anybody?
Yes.
Did you ask what state you were in before you talked to them? No. Why not? Because we get back into habit. Listen, if you go back and just listen to the videos, listen to the trainings, it's world-class stuff. Why can I give it to you? Because I know 98% of you, not that I want it to be, 98% of you are never going to do anything with it. So I use it for other marketing tools. I use it for other marketing pieces. People are like, oh my God, you give this away? Yeah. And this is the giveaway. And then I hear this, well, if it wasn't at 6 a.m., sucks to be you, Skippy. You want to get up, you want to change your life. I'm not asking you to be part of the 5 a.m. club. Some of you are getting up at 4 a.m. I'd be demanding more from yourself. If you're getting up at 4 a.m., I would put some pressure on the part of you that's getting up and say, you got to start producing some stuff here. You don't need to keep sacrificing. You need some productivity. You need some action, baby. That'd be my suggestion. So yes, people can pick up on your thoughts. They may not be able to read them. People who are close to you can read them. They'll go, I was just thinking about you. That's people reading your thoughts. That's why I have you pick a tree when you come to the ranch. I know that sounds crazy. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I don't know any mentor in the world that says, come to my ranch and pick a tree. Come to my house and pick a tree. Pick a plant. I have you come here and pick a tree because I want to know how you're doing. When your tree picks you and you are drawn to your tree, this living thing on my ranch, you literally put your energy into it. And I literally know what's going on in your world. I can be across the field and say, and get something where I hear a noise or feel a feeling, and I'll look somewhere and I'll go, okay, first I scan the distance. I was taught by Israeli Secret Service how to scan, right, to protect my environment. So I scan the way they taught me, and then I come back, and that threat, so you do threat assessment, out and in, so no threat assessment. Could be an animal, a wolf, a coyote, something. Never seen any, but that's the threat assessment, or a human. And then once I finish the threat assessment, then I scan for what's in that direction, what drew my frequency. And 9.9 times out of 10, it's somebody's tree. And then I check in on them.
Thank you, Sean.
Yep.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Last thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways, take with yous, ahas.
Hey, listen, you could have just said that. You're welcome. I'm kidding. I love it, brother. Thank you.
And remember, this is where you want to get to. You're focused here, potential, you're focused here, action, results. Everybody stays focused over here. Everybody stays focused. It's like there's this wall around this 100-foot wall around belief. No, well, if I just believe, think more, and if I just do more, I'll get more. I'll get more. No, it's over here. I'll get more. I'll get more. I'll get more. Results. That's got nothing. You'll never change this unless you change this. Right? And most people don't want to work on their belief. They want to stay in their comfort zone. I want to get out of my comfort zone. Change your belief. I don't want to do that. That's uncomfortable. Okay. All right. Let me know how that's going. Anyone else? Last thoughts, comments, questions, take with yous. We'll see you on Friday. I loved our conversations this morning. Okay. I love you tons. I appreciate you all very, 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 very much. Thank you for being in my world. Thank you for making the 6 years of the Daily Awakening so fantastic as we've entered into the 7th year. Can you believe 7 years? I got to go figure out how many episodes we're at right now so that when I come back on Friday, we can start off with some numbers. It's 2000. I don't know if we crossed over 2,500. No, we crossed over 2,000. So it's 2,200, 300, something like that. I love you tons. I'm your head brain training. Let's make 2026 the year of our wildest dreams coming true, Misfits. I'll see y'all where?
At the
Next
next event.
event.
The next event. Somebody give me some Costa Ricas.
Pura
Pura
vida.
vida.
We love you, Mark. And some Lydias.
Yes, be with us.
Be with us.
Be with us all. And the queen of making your 2026 the best year ever, Jessie Lee Ward.
Bosley.
Fluffy, we love you, girl. And a little white fluffy.
Gurgly,
Gurgly. All right, everybody. I love you tons. We'll see you all on Friday morning. Thanks, everybody. Bye for now.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you.
Love
Sam.
you
Christmas,
guys. Merry
everybody.
Christmas.
Love you all. Have a great day.
Where's the end there?